Komal Patel. I'm originally from Georgia, but I'm a senior at NYU, and I'm studying anthropology and journalism. I just finished applying to law school, so keeping my fingers crossed about that. And I took the June 2014 LSAT. I got a 170 on the LSAT, and the way that I prepared for the LSAT was I took the Blueprint online course. I started in December, and I finished it in about April. And it took a lot of self-discipline, obviously, because it is like an online course that you do on your own time, and I was taking classes, so it took a little bit longer, but I made sure to do all of the homework for the online test, and then after doing the homework, I would do extra problem sets if I felt like I needed the practice. In addition to that, throughout the whole time, I did practice tests, not too many in the beginning, but towards the end a little bit more, stopping in about June so that I wouldn't burn myself out too much, and then reviewing those practice tests. And then the last thing I did was, as I got closer to test date, I started doing time sections so that I could really work on my timing, which is the hardest part of the LSAT for me, and then also so that I could know which weak areas to target. And then once I targeted those areas, I would either rewatch the lessons or go through that homework that I did just to refresh myself on what I had learned earlier. In terms of advice I would give someone on the LSAT, the first piece of advice I would say is to go slowly in the beginning. A lot of people want to jump right into it and rush, which is obviously something that I wanted to do. I wanted to start taking practice tests right away and things like that, but the slower you go in the beginning, the better it is, because you're really like learning the right way, the fundamental skills that you're going to need on the LSAT. If you don't learn those correctly the first time, then you're going to keep practicing something the wrong way, which is going to be really hard for you to correct as you get closer to test date. So from the beginning, just go slowly, really learn things properly and thoroughly so that it becomes inherent and second nature to you when you take the test. Do all of the homework would be my second piece of advice, because the more you practice, the better you're going to get, both with speed and with accuracy. A lot of times the homework, at least for the Blueprint online section, was a lot. It was very overwhelming, especially with other work that I had to do, but I really tried to buckle down and make sure that I had time to do all the homework, because it's really important for you to go through the homework, do it, like put all your effort into it, don't, just put half your effort into it, and then review the homework so you know what you got right and wrong. And that's the same piece of advice I'd give with practice tests, is reviewing them afterwards. A lot of times people will take practice tests and then they won't review them. They'll just take that score to heart. But it's really important to go through and see why you got things right and why you got things wrong. Because if you don't know why you got things wrong, you might not know what your target area is to practice on and improve on. And if you don't know why you got things right, you might have guessed, and then your score is not going to be an accurate reflection. So those are the three pieces of advice I would give for the LSAT. And then what kind of cereal I would be if I was a cereal, I would be Special K, because my name is Komal, K-O-M-A-L, with a K, and I am pretty special, so I would be Special K cereal, probably with the chocolate chunks in it. That was really good. Okay, so now I'm going to teach on the LSAT questions. We're going to go through question number 1 together. So let's start reading the stimulus. It's always important with any LSAT question to read the stimulus first, because that's going to tell you what you're looking for when you read the prompt. So let's read the stimulus. If the statements above are all true, which one of the following must also be true on the basis of them? So this is going to be an inference question, and what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to infer which of the answer choices is going to be correct based on the prompt. So taking all of the facts that are given the prompt as truth, we'll know which of the answer choices would also have to be true. Therefore, it's a must be true question. So let's go and read the prompt, and we'll underline things as we go. So this summer, Jennifer, who has worked at KBZ Manufacturing for just over 3 years, plans to spend with her family the entire 4 weeks of paid vacation to which she is entitled this year. Anyone who has worked at KBZ Manufacturing for between 1 to 4 years is automatically entitled to 3 weeks paid vacation each year, but can apply up to half of any vacation time that remains unused at the end of 1 year to the next year's vacation. So let's go through and underline some important pieces of information there. So we know that Jennifer has worked at KVZ Manufacturing for just over 3 years. And we know she's going to spend her entire 4 weeks of paid vacation this year, and she's entitled to it this year. It's important. Anyone who's worked at KVZ Manufacturing for 1 to 4 years is entitled to 3 weeks of paid vacation. And they can also apply up to half of unused vacation at the end of 1 year to the next year's vacation. So now is a good time to make a prediction of what the right answer is going to be. And it's always important to make a prediction because it's going to save you time on the LSAT when you're going through the answer choices. And time is something that is very hard to come by on the LSAT. So, taking all of this information, we know that Jennifer is spending 4 weeks of paid vacation. But she's technically only given 3. However, because she can apply up to half of any unused vacation time from last year to this year, if she didn't use 2 weeks of vacation, that would give her the full 4 weeks of vacation that she has. So, what we're going to predict is that the answer choice is going to say something like Jennifer didn't use 2 weeks of the vacation from last year. When we go to the answer choices, we can see answer choice A, which says Jennifer did not use 2 weeks of the paid vacation time to which she was entitled last year, is exactly what we're looking for. So, that's going to be your answer, but before we finish, I wanted to go through the other answer choices and see why they're incorrect. So let's look at B. If Jennifer continues to work for KVZ Manufacturing, she will only be entitled to 3 weeks paid vacation next year. So, this one seems right at first, but it's a little bit tricky because we know she's worked for just over 3 years. So next year, she'll have worked there for just over 4 years, which means that this 1 to 4 year rule might not apply to her. So we don't actually know how many weeks of vacation she's going to be allowed to have next year. So we can cross B off. Answer choice C says the majority of KVZ's employees use each year all of the paid vacation time to which they are entitled. We have no idea how much of the paid vacation each employee at KVZ uses, so this is going to be outside the scope of the question and we're going to cross that off. D says, last year Jennifer took only 1 week of the paid vacation time to which she was entitled. This is another tricky one because it seems right at first, but we don't know if 2 years ago Jennifer had not used any of that vacation, which would have rolled over for the year after, right? So we don't know if she only took 1 week of paid vacation or whether she just didn't use up the full time that she had and then had 2 weeks left over. So we can cross D off. And then E says, KVZ Manufacturing sometimes allows extra vacation time to employees who need to spend more time with their families. Again, this is going to be outside the scope because we have no idea whether KVZ Manufacturing allows extra time or not, so we can cross this off. So our answer choice is going to be A for this one. Thank you.